In breaking news, the jury in the Auckland High Court trial has just returned.
Literally, Peter, minutes ago, the jury just one by one delivered their verdict, not guilty.
There's an investigation that would have been ashamed to have led. It was a shambles.
We can reveal for the first time that Rickard's co-accused are already in jail for rape.
Clint Rickard's future, though, remains under a cloud.
I'm looking forward to starting back at work at the Auckland Central Police Station.
The question is now, where to from here?
Now, in breaking news, the jury in the Auckland High Court trial of Assistant Police Commissioner Clint Rickards and former policemen Brad Shipton and Bob Sholem has just returned to the courtroom with not guilty verdicts. The three men were accused of kidnapping and indecently assaulting a teenager in Rotorua more than 20 years ago. Now, One News reporter Jacobina Plummer has just come from the courtroom. Jacobina, more details, please.
Literally, Peter, minutes ago, the jury just one by one delivered their verdict, not guilty on each charge of kidnap and indecent assault of the accused Brad Shipton, Bob Sholem and Clint Rickards. As every time they read out not guilty, the sobs from the supporters of the families just got louder and louder. The courtroom was absolutely packed. The three wives of the accused sitting at the front together. Louise Nicholas, the complainant from last year's trial with the three accused men, was in court as well. She looked absolutely grief-stricken. So now, as you can see behind me, there's just a media scrum waiting for Clint Rickards to come out and the family members to come out. The question is now really is where to from here for Clint Rickards' career. He's been suspended for more than 3 years on full pay, but this has absolutely devastated his career. And when I asked police the other day what would happen, they said this is really a confidential employment process that will just be sorted in due time.
I said 3 years ago that I was not guilty, and it's been vindicated today, those comments.
Clint Rickards now able to put 3 years of serious allegations behind him. The words not guilty still sinking in for all three accused.
It's destroyed our family life for the last 3 years, so the priority for us is to rebuild our family life.
The men's accuser could barely hold herself up after hearing the verdict. As she left court, she had to be propped up by police. But if anyone knows how she feels, it's this woman, a pregnant Louise Nicholas turning up in support.
That's tacky. She's had her day in court.
Looking grief-stricken in court as the three men were acquitted yet again.
What I do know is that she's a liar. They both are liars, and they've been proven over the last 3 years to be the liars that they are.
The latest complainant had claimed as a 16-year-old she'd gone to a Rotorua house. After a few drinks, she said she was carried against her will into a bedroom where 5 men handcuffed her and violently assaulted her with a bottle. She could only identify Rickards, Sholem and Shipton, but the jury wasn't convinced. What was it like hearing those verdicts being read out?
Oh, a tremendous relief. I mean, like I said, our love for our brother is unconditional, and we don't believe in any of that. We know that what type of person he is.
Brad Shipton admitted having a sexual relationship with the girl and didn't deny allegations he invited Bob Sholem to join in. The jury heard from Shipton's wife that he was out of town most of the summer, but that was contradicted by her own cousin. Despite that, the jury clearly felt that wasn't enough proof the alleged assault actually happened. While Shipton and Sholem couldn't show their reaction, their lawyers could.
Well, obviously he's very happy, but I don't want to say anything else. I've got nothing else to say. It's all over now.
He's elated. Yeah.
What did he say to you?
He said thank you.
Unlike Sholem and Shipton, Clint Rickards denied he'd met their accuser until she gave evidence at the Louise Nicholas trial last year. He had former All Black legend Steve McDowell testify in his defence, saying Rickards had a large cast on his leg at the time, enough to convince the jury that if the graphic sexual assault did occur, the complainant had the wrong man, a man whose career may be in tatters, but at least has his family firmly by his side.
And it's stormy in Auckland tonight. Winds have been gusting at more than 100 kilometres an hour in parts of the city, causing some damage. For the latest, we cross to Jacobina Plummer on the windswept waterfront.
Good evening, Wendy. Well, I don't think I have to explain to you how miserable it is in Auckland tonight. This storm has been brewing for the past 24 hours, but this particular front really hit the Upper North Island middle of this afternoon. This tramping bridge now hangs by a thread, but 24 hours since the rapids hit, the water level's already dropped 10 metres. But the evidence of the Lahar's impact on Mother Nature is everywhere. This boulder the size of a car was dragged down by the sheer force of the water, as were many of these boulders around me, which created that horrendous thundering sound yesterday.
The government has unveiled plans for the super stadium it wants to host the World Cup final in 4 years' time. It'll be built on Auckland's waterfront, but only if residents want it. They can still opt for an Eden Park upgrade. And the pressure's on our biggest city to make a quick decision.
Good evening, Wendy. Well, today was supposed to be D-Day for the government to announce their preferred stadium site. Instead, they've passed the buck back to Auckland for it to make a decision. Now, Auckland's not a city that's got a good track record for deciding anything. And the government says if it can't, the World Cup final will simply be sent down to Christchurch. These are the first pictures of the fire that took out the island's power supply. After 6 days fending alone, the Air Force came to the rescue. This evening, the new generator is already up and running, providing water and basic electricity supplies to the island's 600 homes. While relief has finally arrived, the electricity crisis has exposed a massive weakness in the tiny nation. The pressure's now on leaders here to find a way of making the small country more self-sufficient. Alex Sweeney's head over wheels about his Vespers.
Well, it's like all passions. It's completely illogical. It's completely irrational.
Like children, he's even given them names.
My first one was called Pistachio. It was a mint green one, and then that was followed by Alabaster. That's a vanilla-coloured one.
While parking on the footpath is technically illegal, that Italian Romeo even softens the most hardened heart.
Most often they're parked parallel to the curb line, and if it's not that much of an issue, we do tend to just overlook them.
Overlooking it despite it becoming an increasing parking menace. Vespa sales here have quadrupled in the past 3 years. And if you're one of those lusting after this Italian stallion, there's a 3-month wait.
You've got to have the man bag, and that's to make up, that's your boot in effect. And yes, it does get wet, so you've got to have a little, another man bag.
And to top off the look, apparently you have to ride like an Italian too.
I feel sorry for those scooter riders that are back there with the cars in a queue. That's not the point of having a scooter. You're through the middle and in front of the lights all the time.
A view that leaves some car drivers feeling jilted.
They feel all of a sudden that this is a race, and they pull away from you, in front of you. At the next set of traffic lights, they're first there. But, you know, they're first there, but they're still 10 cars back. This is not a race that they're ever going to win.
And it's a race even the most unlikely suspects are getting into. So at this point, I must out myself. Meet my 3-month-old Italian baby, Enzo. Jacobina Plummer, 1 News.